So thank you, Harry. Thank you to be here.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure for me.
Thank you for having me.
So I have a couple of questions for you, and I'm very honored that you will be here, that you're here and answer in person. That's after COVID is a very, we appreciate more. So my first question is, where and what sparked the love for jazz for you? Yeah.
Certainly my father. My father was a drummer. He played in the big band era. He was a little older when he had me. So he played in the big band era, and he had gotten out of music and became an engineer long before I was born. But he loved music, and he played me records around the house all the time. I grew up listening to Ella Fitzgerald and Benny Goodman and Duke Ellington. And so it was definitely my father.
Wow, wow. So what's your father's name?
Maury Allen.
Maury Allen. Thanks, Maury Allen. My second question is, of course, you are very famous for your sound. Everybody loves your sound. So how did you develop your sound, and if you have any particular influence?
Oh, sure. I have lots of influences. My first influence was Scott Hamilton. It's the first record I bought. When I was a kid, he's about 12 years older than me. He was just starting to become famous when I was, a young teenager. And so
How old are you?
How old am I now?
No, how old were you? Sorry, my English is not good looking.
I started playing saxophone when I was about 12. So
Right.
I was right around there, 12 or 13, and I bought a record of Scott Hamilton. I heard the sound and went, wow, what a great sound. That's what I want to sound like. And then from there, I went on to check out the people that he was influenced by. Ben Webster, who's I consider my favorite of all time. Ben Webster.
Love him.
Zoot Sims and Flip Phillips and Coleman Hawkins, a host of people.
Beautiful. And I know that you and Scott are friends, and you record a couple of albums together, right?
Sure, I think maybe seven CDs together.
Wow, that's beautiful. And how do you feel to record with the person that introduced you to the saxophone,
Yeah, well, it's a thrill. Every time I play with him, it's a thrill, and I love his playing so much, and always feel just lucky to be there.
Beautiful. So if Scott Hamilton will see this, we are waiting for you. Maybe we can do something together over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So my next question is, what is your favorite story that you can recall with some of the jazz masters?
Well, I would say one thing that really, a couple of things that really stand out to me. One was I was very, very honored and lucky to be called by Ray Brown to do his, I think, 75th birthday tour in Europe. And we played at Jazz of Vienne, which is in France, and it's a beautiful festival in a 2,000-year-old Roman amphitheater.
Europe. Wow.
With seats going as high as you can imagine, and I'm playing there with Ray Brown, Hank Jones, Jeff Hamilton, and James Morrison.
Wow, that sounds very good. Can we listen to this record? Or?
I don't know. I've never seen a video or a recording of it.
Oh, okay. That's a shame.
There must be somewhere.
We are gonna look for it for sure. So Ray Brown, right? Like, this is my personal question. How was Ray Brown like behind the stage? As a person.
Ray Brown was great. I'll tell you another little story about Ray Brown. I was lucky enough to record with him. Ray Brown, Jeff Hamilton, and Herb Ellis. And he was as interested as anyone I've ever been in a studio with. And it was my record. He was a sideman. He was as interested as anybody ever in the studio to make the project good, which I was stunned by. I thought I knew he would play amazing, but I thought he'd be like, yeah, great, yeah, that's great. No, he came in and listened to every playback, made suggestions. He was amazing. And then to hear the stories, he told me some amazing stories of being, playing with Oscar Peterson at the Jazz at the Philharmonic, and
wow,
and he they would play practical jokes on each other.
Like what?
One time, Oscar detuned his bass. They would call everybody out one at a time, and so on bass, Ray Brown, he comes out and he picks up the bass and all the strings are limp, and he has to start playing. And he was like, So he got Oscar back because they were in Japan, and he loved what's the game Pachinko? Is that it? Where you?
I don't know.
There's a Japanese game that he loved playing, and you win little balls, and then you give the balls in for prizes. But he didn't give them in. He just put them all in his pocket, and he put them all on the piano strings.
No way.
And Oscar Peterson came out and hit a chord and just about jumped off the piano pitch.
Oh my God, that's a really funny story. Thanks for telling us that. So my next question is kind of a tricky question. So everybody has a different answer. Yes, there is the train over here. How can we? So
the A train.
The A train. Yeah. But like, I want to know your opinion about this. So, what is jazz for you?
Well, I think jazz, for me, jazz is the swing. It's the swing of it. It's got to feel good and be a swinging improvisational music. I don't know much more what to say other than I think jazz, there's only a few musics in the world that I feel this way about. It has everything. It has amazing harmonies, amazing rhythms, amazing songs, amazing melodies. It has it all, but it's as different from a lot of the other musics. It's improvisational and swinging.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you've been in touch with the masters, and you now are a masters and a legend by yourself. So my last question is, what do you think about the jazz scene now, and what is the difference between now and 50 years ago, for example?
Well, 50 years ago, I don't know, because...
But you've been playing with people that were there, right?
Yes, absolutely. I was very lucky to play with a lot of... I actually heard, believe it or not, when I was a little kid, I heard Duke Ellington with his band.
Wow.
But, the scene has changed a lot since I was started out my career, but... the musicians are the same, and the mindset of the musicians are the same, and jazz has maybe gotten smaller.
Right,
because 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, you had a lot of people who grew up when jazz was the most popular music in the United States.
Yes, yeah.
And those people are mostly gone now. So it's a little different feeling. In fact, I have this thing that happens sometimes now when you have a really young audience, they don't know to applaud after solos. Right. They don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Why should they know? And it's a weird feeling. You finish a solo and nobody applauds.
Yeah, you look at yourself like, oh, okay.
Well, I was trying really hard, but they're enjoying the music just as much. So I think jazz musicians, the scene changes, but jazz musicians always find a way to just like in this is an example of the sort of things we would do when COVID hit and we all lost all of our work. We find a way. That's what jazz musicians do.
That's beautiful. Well, thanks so much, Harry. And I'm really glad we did that. So now, please. So I want to thank also my co-host, Nicole Magallón. She's been amazing to help me. I cannot do that without her, for real. So thanks, Nicole. My name is Piero Alessi. This is A Taste of Jazz, and now we're gonna play some live music. Thanks so much.